Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Art of Awesomeness podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Kiswani, accompanied today by our host, Christian Caito. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you.
Christian, you know what today is, right? You know today is episode 55. It's the episode we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
The 55th episode of the Art of Awesomeness podcast. We've been waiting for this, I think, since the time we started. We don't even have a plan really for this episode, but we're going to go with it, and we're super excited to begin.
Yes.
But, of course, to start off, we, of course, have the national days. Happy National Food Day. So that's pretty all-encompassing.
Food.
If you eat food, celebrate it. It's nice. It's good.
Yummy.
On that same note, Happy National Bologna Day, which, you know.
Where does bologna come from again?
That's a good question. I never really questioned it, to be honest. I just
Like
ate
spam.
It. Yeah, it's one of those things where I've never actually sat down.
I think I don't know if spam. I think they said spam was like it was a mixture of different foods or different meats.
Different meats or foods.
Yeah, meats.
So like peaches and stuff. Happy National United Nations Day, so that's UN. Happy National Mother-in-Law Day. So if you have a mother-in-law, you know, that's good. That's fine. And then also it's the fourth Sunday in October if you care about that. It's not always going to be on the 24th, but every fourth Sunday in October. Look out for that. With that out of the way, Christian, it is time to commence the 55th episode. And we're here.
All right, Adrian, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get the ball rolling here. 55, it's a big number. To us, it's a big number.
Yeah.
But pretend I'm a kid and my name is Jared and I'm
Jared.
and I'm like, ooh, hey, I love the Art of Awesomeness podcast, Adrian. And you're at VidCon and I'm like, why is 55 like a big number?
First I'd be like, you better fix your words, kid. But then I'd be like, hey, let me take you aside. Let me take you on a journey.
Yay.
Okay, it's not going to be that fun. So you can calm down. I'm sorry. Yeah, basically 55 is, for any of those of you who have been with us for any length of time, 55 is our main channel. That is basically the reason why we started YouTube. It's the reason why we are basically doing what we're doing now in a way. 55 is something that 55 Pure is what it's really called. Was what we came up with in, I want to say 8th grade.
Yes.
I think you got the name from like one of those random generator sites too.
But it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. We just ran with it. But over the years, kind of whenever we've talked about working on YouTube together or film or really just collaborating our efforts to make something cool, it's always kind of been under that umbrella of like 55. Like whenever we talk about it, it's kind of revolves or surrounds itself around that idea of like this main channel where you and I are basically just working together with our collaborative efforts to make something worthwhile, something fun, something adventurous, something that has meaning and depth and that overall is putting something good out into the world, I think was... If you want to like really break it down to its core element, it's basically just Christian and I working together to make cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you really just want to break it down that way. And so that obviously manifests itself in different ways, right? Like a podcast or, we want to do gaming and stuff like that. But overall, that's really all it is. It's just us working together with our kind of collaborative passion for film and storytelling and travel, that kind of a thing to leave a good mark.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a testament to our friendship. Our friendship was built around this idea. So it's pretty important to us just as friends because it's kind of how it started, if you think about it. So, yeah, that's why 55 is kind of like a number, is because it's like that's kind of where it all started. Was 55
it was the number from the
it.
generator. I knew my favorite number is 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would be a cool name for a channel? And I just give me 55. I put all my favorite stuff in there. I put what's your favorite number? Not like nachos. 5, favorite food, nachos, favorite.
What'd you put for favorite food?
Favorite food, not nachos. It was like I don't know, like pizza or something. And then it was like favorite animal, monkey. And they gave me all this stuff, and I was looking through. I'm like, no. And it's like when you find like the perfect girl, and you're like, oh, that one. There's all these other ones.
Say that
there.
like as if we have experience.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. I mean, when it does happen, it will be like when I found 55 Pure, the name.
Dang. Oh, so you're comparing that to when you generate. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So it was cool though, but I think, I didn't even know we would come this far from those guys that were playing pretend of Jurassic World. Pretend Jurassic World. You know, I think we've come a long way. And plus, with the things that we've already done and the things that we got on the way, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Well, I think that what it comes down to is the fact that a lot of people have a dream to some extent when they're young. And then when they get to our age, you know, obviously we're doing the same things they're doing. All right, we go to college, we have jobs, you know, we're doing that kind of a thing. But I think it's kind of rare for people whenever they have a dream when they're young with like a best friend of theirs, like, we're going to do something cool, right? I feel like a lot of the time it's people who kind of not necessarily lost faith in that or lost care for it, but they just kind of got swept up in the hustle and bustle of life to kind of neglect, you know, a real possibility, right? Because they thought, oh, that's a little bit too far-fetched, or, you know, whatever they may have thought about it, or they don't have enough time for it. So I think the fact that we've been able to make time throughout our week to be consistent with this podcast and to be consistent with, you know, trying to make stuff happen over the years, and that, you know, even when we've hit kind of dark times or roadblocks, we've still found some way to put out,
like before we started this one.
Yeah, like even before then, it was like, you know, if you had a difficult time, you know, we still, like, you would still put out like a senioritis video.
Yeah, and I think you know out of everybody, like, how I put myself in a box for that. So I think, especially you out of everybody that knows kind of the process of kind of trying to put something out there and wanting to put something out there in the first place. It's, you know, I wanted to say, you know, I think, and this is for everyone listening, I know we tease that this is like a joint off of 55, but I think, this is how I see it, is this AOA is, I haven't said that in a while, AOA is probably, not even probably, but definitely it's critical to 55, because I think what you were just saying, it's how people don't, I don't know if it's like they get I think you said hustle bustle in life, and they get things, you know, they got stuff on their plate and they keep going, you know, and then because of like whatever's going on in life, they kind of disregard it. But with this, and we kind of talked about staying consistent, and we talked a lot lately about kind of where we like plans, especially plans and staying consistent, and kind of topics that kind of relate to today's topic. But this right here, if you guys are wondering, like, oh, I go, like, obviously check out all those other channels, not other channels, but we have mostly like the gaming one and the other one, right?
Yeah, the main one.
Check out those, but not saying not to deter you away from this one, because this one, what I'm saying is this has helped us stay consistent. In, you know, essence, like, we're staying consistent with AOA, but AOA is a part of like the bigger scheme of like 55, and so it's this is why it's important, because it helps us stay, because without it we probably definitely wouldn't pump out as much content.
For sure.
I think because this is like a weekly thing, and under like the name of what we originally started with, I think it's really good that we're doing this too.
I think also 55 is a really grand idea, like travel the world and film it and all this cool stuff. And what I think the podcast does is it allows us to still put out content and still remain consistent and learn about this whole YouTube thing, while still allowing it to be very feasible and doable. Like, it's not something like, oh yeah, we have to put money into buying plane tickets and hotels and like events and that kind of a thing. It's a very simple thing when it's like, okay, you buy two $40 microphones, you set up your camera, you get in your garage and you film something. It's like, you kind of do with what you have. And so I like the fact that, because sometimes people won't do stuff until like the situation's perfect. Like they wait for this, they wait for this perfect time or day that will never come, you know? So I think the important thing is, I think with 55, it's kind of like this cumulative idea of like this Avengers Infinity War of like our efforts, right? And so, but you can't really do that without all the whole build up or all the groundwork that has to be laid down first. So in many ways, I think that the podcast, like you said, has helped us with consistency and that kind of a thing. But it's also allowed us to just start somewhere with what we have, you know? Because if you were like, hey, let's do a 55 trip to like Europe or something, it's like right now that's kind of hard to do, you know? But it's like, hey, do you want to talk about, you know, I don't know, biblical truths, our perspectives on things, you know, just us talking and having a fun conversation, doing like a would you rather, you know, in front of a camera for like an hour or 50 minutes or whatever, like that's doable. So I like the fact that, you know, a lot of people wait for this perfect time, but we were just kind of like, you know what? There's probably not going to be a real perfect time. Let's just start something, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't really know where the podcast would go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we're at a point now where we're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
We're trying to upgrade it all the time, right? We have that list of guests, you know, that we keep talking about that we're trying to make happen. And so it's been nice to see it kind of start from like this idea that we had in high school to kind of struggling every once in a while putting out content in high school, and then finally like landing on a spot where we can actually put our time and effort into working towards that, you know, because then you have something to hit for, right? Something to aim for.
Yeah.
And you're working towards it, you know, like all of this is kind of towards this ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You know, not to say that we don't enjoy this or that this isn't like important, but it definitely is kind of in some ways a stepping stone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I know I think to add on to it, I think, and just for in general for anyone out there that's looking to start like a new hobby or an activity, one thing that you said is, one thing you said that kind of like struck with me, and I want to say to anyone out there like thinking to create anything, you don't know where you're at, or you just have an idea of something you don't know, like if you want to roll with it or not, or where you want to go, like with it. I think looking back, the most exciting part of any process is when you don't know where it's going to lead you to, because it's like you're just starting out, and like the possibilities are like endless basically it could be, and it's even better when it ends up being something that you didn't even like think of like being before. And I think when we started this, we talked about this too a few episodes ago, but there was a lot of, I remember I placed one emphasis on when we first started, it was mostly, I don't know, like I think compared to, and this is noticeable in the first episodes, we're a bit more serious, like the color is different compared to now. We're a bit more, you know, we're a bit more comfortable because we've been doing this for a while. It's
comfort is like definitely gone up, you know.
So it's, I think for sure, and it's not so far-fetched, but I think I wouldn't have imagined the podcast like being like this. I don't know, it's a bit, I guess, light, or if you want to call it lighthearted, and just we've added some new personal elements and how we approach, you know, some things. We even had guests on. I didn't even think we were gonna have guests on. I thought it was So there's these little things that I've noticed. Those are nice changes. Like I didn't even predict like we'd be going this way, but I love where we're going, and I think it's cool that you have no idea what's gonna happen next. It's good to have like an outline. Kind of, it could like a direction, and you know, in the beginning, it's good to like play with those ideas a little bit for anything, and just test it out and not worry too much about, you know, if it's gonna fit in or not. It's good to just try those things out and just to get a feel for them.
You have to see what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. I mean, if you start a project trying a bunch of different things, you know, you're immediately gonna find out what works and what doesn't. You know, after just a few tries. You know, so it's not like you might be struggling with this for a long time. Like you'll know pretty quick if this is something that, you know, you like, an aspect that you like about it, an aspect that you don't like, or something you want to expound upon. You know, it's not that hard to get a good feeling for what you like, and especially as something, you know, as personal as content creation and stuff like that. It's very much so up to the creator of what they want to put out there. So it's not something where you're necessarily doing it wrong or whatever. It's basically just whatever you think is best for the content that you're putting out there. You know, if you think having it, you know, all your content in a certain gradient or color or in a certain light, like setup or whatever is going to work better, then, you know, go ahead and do that.
Everything is for building it up.
Yeah. And so kind of to the point, it's like you use these things and you kind of find out what sticks and what doesn't. And the whole idea of 55 and our kind of collaborative efforts, and anyone's collaborative effort in trying to build up or create anything, is it's trial and error. And you can't really let that deter you too much. You know, if you try something, it's like, oh, that didn't work very well, or there's like, I mean, basically, I think I've said this before in a podcast, but everything that could go wrong in a podcast has basically gone wrong at this point. We've lost all the audio, we've lost all the video, we've set everything up wrong. Camera glitches.
We've ran over a guest.
Yeah,
you know, it's. I mean, it's crazy.
Last week's intermission wasn't even there. You know.
Yeah, well, I didn't, because I told you, like, side note, I listened to it.
Yeah.
Because I listened to it on my way to work, and I know it's not an hour long to my work, so I break it up over a few days, and I eventually finish it. But yeah, it's like little. On that note of like little things like going wrong. I mean, And I think the funny thing is, I think you emphasized this several episodes ago, where you were talking about, I think we're talking about like something along the lines of like starting up like an episode and not like expecting the unexpected. I guess it's probably one of the biggest piece of advice that you could give.
Yeah, definitely, like, be prepared to fail and at what you're doing. But I would also say don't really let that deter you, because I mean, it's how long has it been since we uttered the words 55 pure, and then up until now, and it's still in the works, like stuff takes time.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna, like, we've been doing this podcast for over a year now.
I know, that's so crazy.
Over a year we've been doing this. I can't even think about that properly.
Literally.
Because it doesn't feel like that.
Because it's the small things that add up. Like, it's just, in the big scheme of things, like, we were like, oh, where do you think we'll be from a year from now? And we're like, we don't know. But all we got right now is this week's episode, and just keep building on that. And
basically just focus. Okay, I'm not really thinking about a year from now, but next week, let's focus on next week's episode. Finish that. Let's focus on next week's. I mean, that's kind of the whole way we've approached this. And now here we are over a year. It doesn't even feel like it, and we're still working towards that ultimate goal. So like, it sounds like a long time, and it kind of is, but I think it takes that long time sometimes in order to really figure out and build yourself up to a point where you're good. Like, if you're trying to find a certain level of success in your area, that generally doesn't happen right away. Like, it's very rare occasions when you find like people blow up, on YouTube and stuff. And even those most famous YouTubers, most of them were making YouTube videos like 5 years before they blew up, Like, it's not even like Casey Neistat, for example. He's a really popular YouTuber.
Guy.
He was grinding for years before he, popped off on YouTube and stuff like that. So I mean,
I think didn't he have like his own HBO thing?
Yeah, he had his own HBO show, and he still wasn't like super famous. Even it was like his YouTube channel that made him famous. Even though you would think on HBO was like the pinnacle. Little did he know he would become like a YouTube star and all this stuff. And that would bring him more fame than HBO, right? So it's like you never know where it's gonna take you. But the thing, it can't take you anywhere if you're not on the path even. So like, you have to actually commit to trying and continuing whatever you're trying to pursue out, which is kind of the story here. It's kind of the story of us just trying to continually make things happen the best way that we can.
Yeah, I see your point. That's a good point, man.
Yeah, just
get started and see what happens,
see what happens. And I guess we'll talk more about that after this little quick intermission. Hopefully it's here this time. Hopefully it's not an error screen. So enjoy the intermission.
Reading the Bible cover to cover can be a pretty daunting task, especially if you've never read a book in your life. But the solution to this is actually found in the development of your habits. And a great book in the Bible that can actually help with that is actually the book of Proverbs. Now, why is that? Well, the book of Proverbs is filled with 31 very short but content-filled chapters. And so if you can simply commit to reading a chapter a day of the book of Proverbs for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, you would have succeeded in reading the Bible consistently every single day for that amount of time. And there's a principle out there called the aggregation of marginal gains. And the idea behind it is that if you can simply improve your habits by 1% each day, that 1% habit will have compounded to greater numbers. And in our case, if you can simply commit to reading one chapter a day of the book of Proverbs, you will have built the consistency and diligence to read the entire Bible.
Nice. We're back.
Hope you guys enjoyed that intermission like we enjoy you guys. Right? Is that good?
No.
So, Adrian.
Probably not.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask your question.
So, I broke my phone.
Oh, really?
So, Adrian, we're on the note. We've been kind of dabbling a little bit on little pieces of advice we give to people. And I think by now, hopefully, we give you guys the point. We're coming off the point. We're giving off the idea that we're kind of reminiscing on some things of the past. Well, I think we kind of went over some of the things in the past and things that we did or didn't expect that, we hopefully that we could give to you guys. Because, this is a podcast. We, always aim to have something that you guys can take away from at least when it comes to starting your own endeavors, so we can kind of give you the tools. I think that's one of their like part of our mission statement is giving you the tools like spiritually or just things that are more practical for starting things so you can achieve the big goals in your life. So hopefully you guys took some good stuff away from that. I know I did, kind of recapping on some old things. I was like, wow. But yeah, I had a question.
Yeah,
Adrian. Obviously we talked about where we were.
Yes.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Talk.
This is a podcast.
In the future, Adrian.
Yeah.
Where do you think... No. Where do you think we're going right now? I want to ask you something. I have something in my head. I have something in my head. I'm so sorry. I have something in my head now. Yeah. Right now, give me... What are two...
You held up three?
Stop. Dang it. One. Stop. What is one episode that you really want? One that we haven't planned that you really want to do on this podcast. We're going to talk about it now.
Episode. Okay.
We talked about where we've been. We're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah. Okay. So podcast episode
you want to do right now?
Want to do? Okay.
Let me know right now.
Podcast episode that I think would be cool to do in the very near future would be a podcast episode with some of our old teachers, like Campos, Feinstein,
in fact,
all those.
Kind of got some stuff.
We do. So yeah, that's one that I'd like to see. Really, I guess for this podcast, what I would like to see it become is a bit more guest oriented.
Okay. Yeah, that's something you said that you wanted to incorporate more in the third season.
Yeah. Like not have every episode be a guest, but I think sprinkle that in a whole lot more because I think it is good to, even just for us, but for people listening to kind of hear the lives of other people and kind of what they're going for in life. Because obviously you hear about what we're trying to do all the time and we try and give advice from our perspective. But I think it is valuable whenever you bring on someone else to talk about what they've been up to, what they're working on.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
it kind of puts a spotlight on their life and someone that people may not have otherwise kind of focused on, like, oh, I didn't know that they're working on that. Like you might, like we've had friends on here on the podcast who have told us that they're working on things we didn't even know about until they came on the podcast.
Right, like Nick or Tucker.
Yeah, so like you might see someone maybe like you knew or maybe you have some kind of idea of and then you actually find out what they've been going through, what they've been working on. You're like, oh, I didn't even know that. So it's kind of a cool perspective thing where you can hear the stories of other people, hear about their endeavors, and you can kind of learn from their mistakes and then be inspired by their accomplishments up to that point. And I just think it's kind of cool to shine a spotlight on other people and
unlike them
get an idea of what they're doing. Having an episode where we have Sophie on the podcast would be like if I could make that happen now, if I could snap my fingers and Sophie was like right here, I would do that. But
our publicist,
that impression.
Hey guys.
But like just stuff like that, things that I think would just be really cool to have happen. Yeah. That obviously we've been talking about for a long time, but to actually just kind of make that happen would be a cool
a bit thing. More. I think that's one of the ideas actually that you said when we're talking about, we're kind of going back and forth on how we kind of envisioned this season being. And one of the things that you said that stuck with me was to have more of an engagement in terms of having guests on the season. I thought that was a great idea too, because I mean, before we've always had. I think did we have a guest last season? We had a few guests last season too. This is our first time.
Season 2 was like the guest season.
That was okay.
That was like Tucker, Lucas, Nick.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. David, right. Neil, okay. Because I'm blending them. But yeah, that's
because we're on season 3.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, we're on that season.
That's cool to say, actually.
Yeah, season 3.
Are we on? That's cool.
Which one? Yeah, but one thing you said was incorporating more of guests. Yeah. I thought that was a good idea because I think not only does it help us get like more engagement for sure, but I mean, if someone asked me to be on their podcast just to talk about them, like at first, like the first one, maybe talk about them. If I got lucky enough to be invited back again to talk about a certain topic that they knew kind of stuck with me a little bit, I would be honored. Like, that's cool. Like, yeah, it's because basically it's like giving a platform to someone for them to share, something that they don't already have, but we have that could help them out. And I think,
or vice versa. Like, it was cool. I mean, you and I, we enjoy music a whole lot, but we're not necessarily like the most skilled in making it. Like, especially me. Like, I'm the opposite end of that spectrum. You obviously play guitar and have written songs and stuff, so you're more close to it. But like when Nick was talking to us about making music and stuff, or when he was talking to us about Twitch and what that was like those are things that we don't really know a whole lot about the way he knows about.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah,
so
Nick is. Oh yeah.
It was one of those cool things where not only was the audience maybe learning something new about Twitch or about music, but we were learning something as well. So it's like an education. It works for all people, right? Nick is able to kind of talk about things that he knows about. We and the audience both are learning about those things and gaining some information about it. And then, we're able to kind of talk to him about some things that we were thinking about. So he's able to kind of gain from maybe whatever we're talking about. So it's like this nice kind of balance where, everyone's kind of teaching and learning from the other person, in a good way. And we're learning, what things work, what things don't, what we're wrong about, what we're right about, how to go about life in a productive way, in a good way. So it's like, I think that the value of guests is something that might be a little bit overlooked because it's just kind of cool to have a guest, because it shakes things up a bit,
Yeah.
Because especially like, having someone who maybe you weren't really that like tight with in high school, or someone who you don't really know too well, it is almost kind of like a first real formal meeting with them. Like if we had someone from high school who we were like acquaintances with, but we're never friends with, and they came on the podcast, which we're going to have happen, by the way. It's kind of a situation where you might be finding out a whole bunch of new things about this person for the very first time on camera live. And so you don't even know where it's going to go. You're just kind of saying, okay, we're going to have this person. Don't know what on earth, conversations we're going to get into. But we're just going to see where it takes us and see where it goes. And that's kind of, especially for someone who's recording the podcast, that's an exciting thing because you don't know where the conversation is going to go. You don't know, how that's going to turn out. So it's just as exciting for us as it is for the audience to finally hear about someone, because it's like, who are you, what have you been doing?
Especially like people new. I think you said that there's a few people out there, like I don't know if they listen like as much as maybe like Tucker and Sophie do, but there's a few people that I don't really even talk to like in high school or anyone like in general, just like that want to be on. I think that's really cool though, because I've never really talked to these people, and like what you said, like there's always something new that you haven't learned yet. And so that's, especially when it comes to people that you don't really talk to, I think that's pretty cool.
I think it is pretty cool too. And then kind of throwing your question back, I mean, if there was something that you would say you look forward to, like podcast wise or just YouTube and wise and stuff like that, 55.
Oh yeah.
What would be, I'm not going to limit you to one, but like, what are a few things that maybe you would like to see happen in the near future that you're like, that this would be cool to happen like in the next maybe few months to a year?
I'm really glad you asked. That's a great question, Adrian.
It's basically just your question.
Wow. I'm just saying it's a good question.
Yeah.
For the podcast, I would like to take, like, literally be in a different setting and do a podcast episode.
Oh, like go somewhere and like just take all the equipment with us?
Yeah, and just set it up. Maybe like one time we're at like a beach house or something with the beach in the background. Like, hey, maybe another time we're still at a beach and we're interviewing like a surfer dude or something, or just have a different, how like Casey has he has intros, but he takes like the chair, like the table with him, like different places.
Oh, I've seen that video.
Yeah, but like this, I mean, won't do it like on the street. We get like a car just okay, I'm just like
it doesn't sound too good for
but
podcasts.
Changing up the scenery. I'm not saying this is bad, but like here and there, like changing it up a little bit. I think that would be cool.
Or even like decorating for like the seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, remember last time we had like a little tree or whatever. Like doing stuff like that, I think is always fun.
Yeah, decorating. Yeah. That's one. For videos, in terms like 55.
Yeah.
Tucker's been sending me a few different ideas.
Really?
And he said that the one that he wants us to do, I think would be pretty cool. You, me, and I think just you and me, or maybe he wants to do it too. We'll get him on. We'll get you on, Tuck.
We got
you. But he wants us to go try. I think it was cereal. He wants us to try all these different cereals and rank them like on a board. But actually, like the thing that makes it like the little seasoning is like we actually have to like give like in-depth reasons.
Like be serious about like reviewing the cereal.
Yeah, well maybe not serious, but like serious about wanting to be serious.
So serious.
No.
That made no sense.
No. You got like not like cereal, but like cereal.
What do you think serious is?
Okay,
But-
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't. But yeah, I hope they do.
That's
I have no
one.
idea what you're
Cereal. I want to go to Chick-fil-A. That's just in general. Not even. I also
talking-
one
You're just talking
thing
about stuff you want to eat.
in the future.
Yeah.
I want to have a celebrity on the podcast.
You'll have a celebrity on the podcast.
I want Tom Holland to be on this podcast.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Dang.
The guy, he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Tom Holland.
Just checking. Yeah, Tom Holland, Robert Downey. I want to like start interviewing all of those celebrities.
You want to have the Avengers cast on?
Yeah. No, that's too much. I can't handle all those guys. Man, they're like kids. Man. I can't handle all of them. One at a time.
But at a time. Yeah, okay.
One at a
Funny.
time. Yeah.
We get Tom Holland on here. He's just like, "What's up, guys?"
Oh my god.
Fight about.
Oh, and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. So, yeah, and you know, I want to start. One of the final things I will say.
Yeah.
Is we kind of started this in high school. The TTDIHS list. The things to do in high school.
Oh yes.
That one I know we didn't finish them because I remember I put like a million things that
And most of them were actually repeats. I was looking at it.
just because I wanted a million things.
No. Because I think what you did is you went on a bunch of different websites, and they all kind of like said the same thing, and you just kept copying and pasting all this.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even in the same font. It was like,
It wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think he even took a screenshot of one too. It wasn't consistent.
yeah.
But doing things like that, and just recording it, especially with other people, and every time we do one, we have a guest on,
Yeah.
or for like a video, we try something new. Like we kind of talked about this thing I told you about. Every month you do something you've always wanted to do, and then something
Yeah.
you've never done before. I think recording that would be cool.
Right.
You know, little things. But in terms of like the podcast, I really like where we're going. Like the ideas we have right now of like just getting more people on,
Mm-hmm.
and like you know, messing with the idea a little bit of changing the setting or how it looks for like holidays and stuff. I think like that's what I want to do right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think all those things would be really good
Mm-hmm.
ideas. And then, I mean, this podcast obviously is like, it's something that we care about, but it's definitely a stepping stone to 55.
Yeah.
So 55, obviously, we're trying to launch that channel. I'm working on the SB video right now that's going to be up around the time that this episode comes out, actually. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably post about it, I think.
Okay.
But then also, as far as like the content that you want to start putting out on 55, what is something like, do you have any ideas in that regard, or is there something that you want to really focus on? I know that it was basically just about, you know, travel, adventure, that kind of a thing. But 55 specifically, what would you like to see happen with that channel over time? Like, what would you say is a goal that you have set for yourself right now regarding that?
Like in terms of where do I see this in the future?
In terms of maybe not necessarily where you realistically see it, but where would you like to?
Where would I like to? Just anywhere I would.
Yeah, like
Okay.
maybe like within a year, what would you like to see with 55? Where would you like to be
Okay,
with
I gotta
55?
close my eyes. I was telling Sophie about it, but there's a psychology thing. Like when you're trying to recall information,
Yeah.
you look that way, but when you try to create new information, you look that way. Did you know that? That's
No.
crazy.
I knew about this way. I didn't know
Oh.
about that.
You just didn't know what that way was. You're
No.
like, what's that way? What do I do if I look that way? Let me. I'm trying to.
How can people lie? They kind of look at, yeah.
All right. I'm tuning in. 1 year from now, I
Yes.
will be what? 20?
No, you're going to be 20 this year.
No. Yeah. Oh my, 21. Oh my god. It's weird.
Christian's old, guys. He's going to be 20 this year.
That's weird.
That's wild.
Yeah, 20. It's nothing here. Right campus. 1 year from
You're still
now,
without the years.
I would like to establish, okay, in terms of something that's more of like, I'm going to keep my eyes closed. That's more abstract, something. I would really like to have, you know, when we get more content up, figure out our own style of editing. You know,
that'd be cool.
everybody has their own thing. And I think it's only natural to want to copy some of that, and especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool. I don't know. I think it would mean the world to me if like someday, and just looking back, and it's gonna happen subtly too. It's not gonna happen all of a sudden and be like, oh my gosh, like this is our editing style. It's gonna happen like small changes, you know.
Yeah.
Small changes. Then one day look back and say, oh, this is our, like, it's unique. It's unique to us. I would like to one day develop that and see where that takes us and what that even looks like, if I even know what that is.
Okay.
In terms of where, like, actually, like, that's the main thing, honestly, to be honest. Like, that's the main thing where I want to look back and see, oh, we did that. I don't know about you, because I'm just going to, like, I'm thinking of other ones, but that's honestly the main thing, is having your own style.
Thing.
Yeah.
I think that the main thing would be to kind of the way we've done with this channel, you know, have like, if you go on our page, you can actually scroll now, you know, and see like videos.
Yeah.
And stuff. I would like to get to the point where it doesn't just take up one page. You know?
Oh yeah, it takes a few.
I like to get to the point where we have content that is numerous, and I would like to have content that is very broad in the sense that we've gone a lot of places. I would like to know that we've actually put a lot of effort into 55 to the point where, you know, anytime we see an opportunity for adventure or travel, we just kind of take it, take the camera with us, and then just kind of see where it goes. And see, kind of like what you said, kind of figure out how we portray that, how we edit that. You know, is it going to be motivational? Is it going to be more vlog-like? Like, what is it even going to kind of entail? Because it is still an abstract idea, you know, but similar to this podcast, we didn't know where it would take us. You know, you just kind of have to start. So I'm editing this SB video right now. It's short, it's sweet, you know, it's nothing super crazy, but you know, it's a start. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to change and grow over time. And I'm hoping that within kind of a general time span of like a year-ish, you know, kind of like how long we've been doing this podcast, we could get to a point where we have content and also we're comfortable with it. Like, you know, how we're kind of getting comfortable with this podcast. I would like to have that same kind of level of feeling of comfort and like solidness about 55. Like, okay, we're established now. One of those things where it's not just this thing we're trying out or a launch, but it's actually something that is consistent and something that we're still, you know, working on full time, getting dialed in.
That's a great idea, man.
Yeah.
You know, we had a lot of good topics. Good job. Good topics, Adrian.
Nice.
So I want to kind of bring it back a little bit on a lighter topic, Adrian. So, Adrian, what's one thing on the top of your head right now? A video that you want to do? Bam.
Video I want to do is a vlog to another state.
Okay. Which state? Bam.
Any state. I was thinking the other day maybe like something along the lines of like Utah, Colorado. Yeah.
Let's do it.
What about you?
Bam. I want to do a noir short film.
Oh, that
detective noir, but it's like we're cops, but it's like kind of humorous though. But it's like it's like, you know, everything black and white. Yeah. You know, like interrogation scenes. Good cop, bad cop, bad cop, bad cop.
We could do that easy.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun just to do skits like that and more skits like that.
We would just have to record ourselves for a day and make it black and white. That's all we'd have to do.
Bye.
What are you doing?
That's my thing now.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, we're just kind of right now. Christian had the idea that we could basically brainstorm content ideas, and if you guys have any content ideas for us that you'd like to let us know, feel free to, you know, obviously comment in the YouTube videos.
In the comments.
If you have the Instagram, feel free to DM us, or if you want to go on the website to find our email, you can always email us as well.
Exactly.
We'll read them all. 55purefilms@gmail.com. Hit me up.
We got so many emails every day, so we'll try our best.
We get so many.
Well, just our moms are like sending.
It's mostly spam.
I mean, that still counts.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, are we gonna do 5 minutes, or you want to do longer? You just want to keep it light? You just want to know no timer? You want to?
Sure. I mean, you're more of the keep it light guy in the group, so if you wanna.
All right, let's calm down. Let's just keep it light.
Keep it light. Okay.
This is this never fails to give us a great idea, and it's fun. It's quick-ish. It's fun.
Prime time.
Let's do it. Bye. Let's go.
Sam.
No. No.
We just go back to
Oh, damn.
lamb.
Wait. Are we rhyming? Or are
No,
we coming up
I'm
like
just messing with you.
No. Okay, fine. You win. I give up.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, cool.
After this episode. Okay.
All right, yeah, but
All right. We come up with a word and we just
so,
build up that.
Yeah,
Go.
so we had an idea.
Chicken.
For, obviously, nuggets.
No, wait.
We had the idea for
Chicken.
obviously going to a different state. That was my idea, and then Christian, you obviously.
Noir.
What was you? Noir.
Noir. And we're gonna come up with a new one. Right?
Yeah, I think that making some kind of along your lines, making short films, that kind
Yeah.
of a thing, would be cool. Even if they're not long, but I would like to eventually maybe make like full length films. You know, like proper films with scripts and actors and stuff. That would be cool. If we could make like a movie.
Spencer or what's
Spencer?
the guy?
What
the
kind?
name? And you know that thing. He wanted it. He went on the battlefield, and we stayed behind. But he went on the battlefield. The script. The adventure.
His name wasn't Spencer though.
Peter.
The Hunted? Okay, he's talking about a script I wrote, but his name was not Spencer. I'm sorry.
It was Spencer. I think I know it was Spencer.
I have the script.
Okay.
Anyway,
So-
but yeah, I think making one of our scripts happen would be cool because I have a few that I'm working on right now. I work on
Mhm.
scripts every now and then,
Mm.
so making one of those a reality, that'd be pretty cool.
What?
But yeah, obviously 55 is like, that's peak, right? That's
Mhm.
that's ultimate. But even something like starting to work on, like we're gonna try and do some reaction videos coming soon to a certain show, which is gonna be pretty awesome.
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, the super cool.
Here's a
thing.
hint. Should I give him a hint?
Well, your hint depends. Is it gonna be a helpful hint or like?
They're all helpful hints. No, they're all helpful hints.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right, so there's this guy, and let's just say he he has a little thing, and it's like yellow, and it helps him. It helps him sometimes, and he can make it big. And he plays with it sometimes. This guy has a little thing, and it's yellow, and he right? Am I wrong?
I think that the way you're wording
Am I
it's pretty
wrong?
wrong. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He has a little thing. Do you want me to just say the name of the show right now?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No.
All right.
No, keep it secret.
All right.
Keep it secret. But that's your hint.
Sure.
Guy has a little thing that's yellow. He can make it big. He can make it short, and he plays with it sometimes, and it helps him a lot. And he kind of gets frustrated with it sometimes because it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't help him.
I feel like Christian's talking from experience or something. But basically, yeah, we're gonna be reacting to this one of my favorite shows, and Christian hasn't seen the full thing, so we're trying different content right now, even kind of behind the scenes. We're trying to make stuff happen, like that, you know, which obviously is gonna go on 55, and it's not like a travel thing, but it's something, right? It's something that we're trying to make happen. And so any content ideas from you guys would be appreciated. I know that's one that we're working on right now. But even apart from 55, obviously the gaming channel is something that we like to see happen in the near future. And then also our personal channels, you know, Senioritis or Christian Caito, Adrian Kiswani, any one of those channels. I'm going to be trying to put out some content on my Adrian Kiswani channel.
Yeah, you told me that.
And so, you know, really just kind of trying to attack it from all angles, I guess you could say, is like, we tried with this podcast. We found success doing it as far as being able to become consistent with it, being able to actually set up and make it look presentable. You know, it's more than just a corner in my room now. It's actually like, I mean, it's a garage, but you know, it's like we've made it look
huge step.
you know, better. And I think to make that happen now in other areas would be the next logical step, right?
Yeah.
We got the podcast good. We do it weekly. And it works, it's good. And so to extend that kind of level of consistency and dedication to other channels and pursuits, I think would just be the next step. So, you know, whether that's the collaborative effort of 55 or just individually on our own personal channels, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
And any content ideas, Were, like you said, Tucker's idea. You know, I think that's a fun idea. We should do that. Or like the noir thing. Like just anything we do, I think that would be. I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So.
Now.
Basically. Cool.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Start.
Red.
Blue.
Purple. Oh,
Grapes.
Right. Oh, dang it. Juice.
You know, if you have an idea, you can just say it whenever it's something.
Yeah, my idea was juice.
Okay, juice. This is how we come to juice. Box.
Oh man.
Ooh, we could get a box, and we could try to. There's a
skateboard.
Lake.
Oh,
we could do that too.
Dang it.
But mine was like we make a boat and we make a video of us going on the lake. That's an idea. Bam.
Yeah,
that's
works.
how we got one. All right, keep going.
All right, let's see here. Sign.
God.
Proverbs.
Jesus.
Where do you go from that?
L.
Bible reading.
Oh. Bible reading?
Yeah.
Ooh, scripture.
Scripture video. Us going over scripture like Proverbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See,
Cool.
bam. See, bam.
Let's see here. Bucket.
Pail.
Oh.
Ooh.
Beach.
Woman.
Oh,
whoa, I'm sorry. Wait. Beach video. Let's go. Yeah.
It's like,
Sandcastle. Bam.
Watch as we walk up to random women on the street.
On the beach.
On the beach. Yeah.
That's the beach.
That's the beach.
Beach. Hot.
Hot. Cold. Snow.
Snow.
Video.
Snowman. Snow day. Snow games.
Christian
Snow
becomes a
games. It's
snowman.
like the Olympics.
But snowman.
Snow. Christian becomes a snowman. I already have a snowman jacket.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh, shit.
I think my mom got rid of it actually.
Oh wow. Well, that's tragic. Whatever.
I think. No, she couldn't have. She likes that, right? It looks good, right?
No.
It looks good. It looks hot.
Yeah.
It makes it like melt.
Melt. Oh, cheese.
Panini. We make paninis. We make Italian cuisines. Bam. We make Italian foods from our cultures.
Oh yeah.
And we both learn it along the way.
My culture, I just go up to like a taco truck.
We're here for Culture Day.
That'd be cool. Actually, that would be cool. Like we try and make foods.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
See, this is a great idea. This is
right.
this. If you guys want to come up with ideas for something, bam.
All right, let's
We
see
just came
here.
up with 3.
Blanket.
Warm. Fort. I want to make
Pillow
a fort.
fort.
Pillow
Yeah,
fort.
pillow
Making
fort.
the best fort ever.
Oh, Nerf gun.
Nerf gun. Battle.
War.
Fight.
Ooh, gladiator match. Christian and I
Let's go.
fight. Nice. Okay, great.
Wait, just in general? Like
Yeah.
we just like fist fight each
Yeah.
other?
Sweet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Like, I
That's a
got
good
boxing
one.
gloves right there, dude.
I mean, yeah, but isn't supposed to be like a friendly like chat?
No.
Like for real? Like
Yeah.
Like you want to actually like fight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could put a pin in it.
Oh.
Bolt.
Yeah, I know. Bolt.
Bolt.
Oh, movie reactions. Movie reactions and reviews.
Movie reactions and reviews / movie recreations of our favorite scenes.
Like recreate our own scenes.
Yeah,
That'd be
but
so
like
fun.
off like parody.
What if
These are great ideas.
What if it's Bolt and it's like we get someone who's like the dog? And
I'll
it's
be the
like-
dog.
No, but it's like you know how he melts the lasers and stuff with the whole lock. Someone just like with the lock. Kind of breaker, like,
I'll put a pin in it.
or just someone who thinks that they have superpowers but they don't. So like everyone else is just doing stuff for them and they're completely oblivious to it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
See, we already came up with ideas. See, bam.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jackson.
Music.
Sax.
A phone.
A phone. Call.
Friends.
Lonely.
Marcelo Smith. Video with Marcelo Smith.
We find Marcelo.
Finding Marcelo. Oh yeah. Also, Campos.
Campus. Okay.
Find you.
Oh, yeah.
We found you, Pizza Co. Anyways.
We found you. We found you.
We found you.
He doesn't watch this anyways. He probably won't.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
We know where you, anyways.
that was a good.
Yeah.
See, that was how we came up with some ideas. And I actually kind of want to do some of them.
actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how we came up. We kind of wanted to keep it a little lighthearted, but yeah. Adrian,
There you
is there? I think we had a good topic.
I think so too. I think that obviously we don't know exactly what the future holds, but sometimes it's good to figure out where you are, where you've been, and then where you're going. And so this episode is basically just kind of us reflecting on the idea of 55, what we want to do with it, what we want to see of it. So, yeah, I think that's everything.
So, anything else, Adrian?
No, I think that's all. I think that's all for this episode, and I think that
Actually,
means, Christian,
you're
that you
forgetting
have
something.
the verse of... Well, that's kind of what I was getting to.
Yeah. You say it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Action.
Verse of the day. Boom.
Okay.
Go.
No, say it again.
No.
Say verse of the day. No, I interrupted you. Go.
Oh. Verse of the day.
It's the Bible. Oh yeah, it's the Bible. Okay. What? We're going to 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy. It's 2 Timothy.
Well, 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy. Okay.
2:6. 2 Timothy 26. 2:6. 2:6.
So, 2
Timothy
chapter
2:6.
2, verse 6.
Verse 6.
Okay, cool.
I gotta find it real quick.
He's gonna get there.
It's Hebrews.
Hebrews.
Oh. Hang on. It's hard. You just wait, please.
No, I'm waiting.
Titus.
Titus. It's behind Titus. Wait, why are you flipping the Revelation?
Here we go. There we go. Second. What did I say?
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 6. I think.
Oh, really? The one pastor that takes like forever. 2 Timothy.
I think it's smart whenever pastors just have like a sheet printed out like with the verses on them. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like flipping there.
But
they
it
just
doesn't
have
build suspense like we do. This could be the best Bible verse of your life.
Sure.
Check it out. The husbandman that laboreth be first partaker of the fruits. Must be first partaker of the fruits. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits.
What does that mean, Christian?
Let me tell you, Adrian.
Let's figure this out.
The husbandman.
Husband.
The labor. In other words, maybe like the labor. The person that does the work. The farmer.
Yes.
Anyone. The husbandman. That laboreth, that works, must be the first partaker of the fruits. The farmer, the worker that works, the worker, must be the first one to reap whatever is coming. So I picked this one.
Yeah.
In my head, here's how I see it.
Yeah.
Correct me. In this day and age where we kind of place emphasis a lot on taking shortcuts, life hacks, doing things easier, faster, right now, later, everything. It's kind of hard, even especially, I'm guilty of this too. That's why I picked it. Because it's easy to kind of like get a little sluggish.
Yeah.
And, not really kind of be afraid of doing the work for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think what's really in my head, what is coming from this Bible verse is saying, and a lot of verses kind of go around this, is the emphasis on hard work and labor. Right. And because of our great ancestors, Adam and Eve, we have, we have to work really hard. So our ancestors, shout out to you guys, but the big man upstairs, he did something wrong, and now we got to work hard for the rest of our lives. But in a more positive sense, working hard does produce a lot of good results. It builds character too.
Right.
And so, it's basically saying the person that works hard, that, puts the priorities as priorities in their life and strives to keep them that way and does what they need to do and be proactive, is the first to reap rewards, wherever that may be to you. So
reap what you sow. And then, that kind of reminds me of that one Proverbs verse where I don't know the exact verse, but it's, consider the ant thou sluggard, where it's basically like, look at the ant, no one tells the ant what to do really, but they just do it. They just, figure things out. They collect, they harvest, they keep, and, they reap what they sow, and they're ants, so like consider them. If you're a human with all this knowledge and all this capability, and this ant's doing more than you, like,
That's why the ants, you just see an ant sitting on the chair, it's like, oh, yeah, I want to go to work today. That has to be a meme.
It should be. That'd be awesome.
We'll find one. We'll
consider the ant thou sluggard. Yeah, but
sweet.
Good verse.
Thank you, Adrian. So, good episode idea, man.
Good episode. my watch. That's fine.
Yeah. Your watch just hit my fist, so thank you.
Whatever. It's a small watch. It doesn't matter.
I always say how it is.
La, da, da. So,
You know I'm insecure.
wait, what?
Wait. What?
I don't know.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
You're hosting.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Hey, I'm trying to.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you for watching the 55th episode. I know that the 1 year was a pretty big deal, but just being able to get to the 55th, just because we talked about it for so long, that's a really cool thing to finally just get to this point where, we'll never have another 55th episode, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically, Christian and I are very excited for what the future holds as far as not only this channel, but all of our other channels, our joint channels. And so we would love it if you guys were along for the ride in that regard. And so any advice or any ideas that you would like to see happen, definitely let us know. There's plenty of ways to reach out. So, you're
That's
not
true.
limited in that regard. So let us know. Thank you guys for being with us for 55 episodes. It's
We
pretty
appreciate
crazy.
you guys. 3
And
seasons.
hopefully you learned something from this episode. Hopefully you learned from our journey.
Mhm.
And apart from that, thank you guys for watching this long. We hope to see you for the next 55 episodes
you.
and onward, and 55 Pure. We'll definitely let you guys know when all that stuff is happening, and we'll see you in the next episode. So,
Arriva.